Hey Adam, why do Sontarans have such issues shopping?
I I don't know if I want to know the answer.
Because they're always a little short. Ah.
Oh,
Planet of the pudding brains.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Would you like a jelly baby? Shut up!
hello and welcome, Whovians. It's time for a brand new episode of Musings of a Pudding Brain. I'm Adam,
And I'm Matt.
and this week we have it's the series finale.
Season
finale?
finale. Series implies that there
Yeah,
will
I
be
know.
no more Doctor Who ever. Which, it's gonna be late, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
But yeah, season finale. We have the New Year's Day.
Oh yeah. Also,
Coming.
spoilers.
Yeah, and spoilers, darlings. But in grand tradition, it's kind of an explosive finale.
It is.
With a guest appearance by Mark Addy, who, if you have been living under a rock or are like Adam,
Yes,
and
that
have
would
not watched Game of Thrones, you
Look.
will immediately recognize him as Robert Baratheon in the first series.
There's a reason I didn't get into Game of Thrones.
You don't have cable.
Yes, that was actually the reason. And by the time I got around to being able to be part of it, it's what, the 7th season now?
And
That's a lot for me to catch up on. I'm having a tough enough time right now trying to catch up with Gotham, okay?
hey, look, I don't know. Maybe deal with it. I don't man up. I don't know. It's a marathon, dude. Like,
I
people
know.
marathon. That's why we have Netflix and the interwebs and stuff.
I just can't. I can't marathon. I'm a sprint guy. Like once a day for 45 minutes.
Your geek foo is weak right now. You know that, right?
Usually I end up editing for the channel or doing some other video games recordings for. I have a lot of stuff to do after a 40-hour week. Okay.
Fair enough. But
God.
moving on, we open up the episode.
Yes.
And alien planet.
Yep.
There's a pair of we're going to go with humanoids because they
Humanoids.
look humanish, but
They got
it's
something going on with their
yeah,
cheekbones.
it's the Doctor. They're obviously not on Earth. They're on some sort of ritualistic rite of passage journey, some Hajj of some kind or another.
It's been 17 years on this journey.
Right, and the older lady invokes the Creator, which we're going to assume they mean God.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
And keeps telling the boy, come what we've come here to do, what only we can do. And the boy basically enters a trance, and his eyes glow.
His eyes glow. He goes full airbender on us.
Yeah, he starts shaping rocks into the air, dragging things over, and it's like, oh, okay, he's an earthbender.
Yes.
Right on.
I wonder if he's the Avatar, though. Can he bend everything?
I don't think so. He didn't have the arrow tattoo on his head, so
True.
I kind of doubt it.
He did go to the glowy eyes, though.
He did kind of go Saiyan for a second. But in the middle of him doing this, there's a disturbance in the force behind them. So some sort of environmental disturbance that produces a creature in a beam of light. That definitely gets both their attention, just kind of like teleport, superhero drops in.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we flip to a black screen that says 3,407 years later.
It's like, okay.
Okay, so for like Team TARDIS, that's like Tuesday. And
Like, so that was last week.
yeah, so when was that? Last week, or was that like 3,000 years ago? I don't know. It's all a blur. It's like the working hazards of being a companion on the TARDIS. Like, when was that? Are we talking like literally, or for them or for us?
Our timeline, their timeline. Whose timeline are we talking about?
Daylight savings time. It was about 4,000 years ago. Yeah, you just see somebody with an abacus in the background clicking along. And it's like, I don't know, I can't keep up. But the Team TARDIS is off to the planet, the Ranskoor of Kolos. Probably
Thank you.
just murdered that pronunciation, but that we're going to go with that from here on out. We're going to refer to it as Rack.
Okay.
But they have to take some precautions going in because apparently Rack has some sort of field around it that can affect the brain, the neurology of the brain, and completely change your moods and make you hallucinate and lose memory and all these other hazards to just throw your neurons into complete chaos and haywire.
Right.
And so we've got a patch for that. And
Yes.
and the doctor literally slaps a little neuro patch onto all of their temples and says, okay, so bad things happen if you lose this. Well, what if we lose it? Don't lose it.
Just don't. Just don't.
Don't do that. And they come in and exit the TARDIS, and they figure out they're on some sort of long-range ship because it has all the key earmarks of it, like a long-range functioning ship, escape pods, and all that fun stuff. But the crew appears to be missing, and no sooner spoken than broken. One human is alive, and he's got them at gunpoint.
Yes. All right, we have the guy with the gun, and introductions ensue.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm the doctor, and these are my friends, and we just got here, and the guy seems to have, like, no memory, doesn't know who he is, who they are, why he's here,
And he is in a pure panic as well.
knows somebody is out to get him, and asks them, like, did they send you? And the doctor's like, we just showed up.
We just got
are
here."
definitely not a them.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help. We were responding to a distress call, multiple ones that all came from the same place. You seem like an urgent call. So we're here to help. What can we do? And the doctor basically talks him down, uses her superpower of banter to chill him out and get him to lower the gun. And he seems to be trying to rack his memory to figure out what he's missing, what he's doing there.
Yeah.
The rest of the team is sent off into the background in order to do a little bit of like see what you can find out. It's alien technology. Go fuss with the computer and
Press
see what
buttons.
you can find,
Yeah,
because
just go.
the TARDIS, of course, translates written language into English as well.
Yes, it does.
Convenient that, and I really kind of need one of those. That would make life so much easier. But and they figure out, okay, so he is the captain, and there are various other crew members, but we don't know where they are.
Right.
The doctor figures out, okay, this guy really has no short-term memory, because he looks back at her and raises the gun again. Who are you? I'm like, we were just talking. Listen, we're here to help. Here, have one of these little patches. See, I'm wearing one. It's very stylish. And
It's the thing this fall.
it's the thing. Please consider wearing one of these. It will help. Gets him to put it on to help bring his memory back, or at least stabilize the dude, so he stops drawing down on them.
Right.
And after a few minutes, he remembers his name. That his name is Paul Tracky. And he could have left because they turn everything on in the ship,
Yeah.
but he did not for some reason. He just knows he couldn't leave
Yes.
yet for some reason. At which point, of course, they get a telephone call and confirm that, yes, his name is Paul Tracky, because here's the older alien we saw earlier
Yes.
telling him, calling him by name. Come back to us, Paul Tracky. Return what you have taken.
It's like, what? Wait, what is he taking now?
Right, so what, is he a thief? And why are there so many other people here? Why couldn't he leave? And return what the master, what you stole from the master. And the master starts speaking, and it's not that master, unfortunately,
Dang
because
it.
I was like, yes, and
Not the master.
okay, no, the voice is Tim Shaw's, and Team TARDIS immediately clenches buttholes.
Yeah.
And he goes,
I mean, do you blame them?
We know that voice. Yeah, well, no, not really. I mean, the doctor probably puckered harder because it literally came back to bite her in the ass. Graham and Ryan's reactions is a little more visceral, especially Graham's.
Yes.
Graham is immediately like stone-faced.
He's like, if I get the chance,
I'm gonna take
coming
him out.
for you.
Yeah.
Just
And
give me the chance.
of course, Tim Shaw has Paul Tracky's crew and says, if you don't return what I stole, I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Slowly, and pretty much just teleport their body parts
Back to you.
back to your ship. You can keep them, and just so you know, I'm serious about this. Here's one of them, and kills
And
kills
kills
a
that
girl after she pretty much tells Paul Tracy, don't come back here. Don't do it. Don't worry about us. Yeah, whatever. Squish.
Pretty much.
And then, gives him a timeline like you have until nightfall or whatever. And kills the message. Now, the stolen item appears to be some sort of dark spherical mass within a crystalline case.
So it's kind of a dark crystal?
No, it's not a dark crystal because the crystal is not dark.
Yeah.
The center of it is. Don't Henson on me here. You're not...
But whatever it is on the inside is vibrating.
Yeah, very, very violently, like it's trying to break out. And the doctor does a quick scan with the sonic and says, okay, the density, the readings are just wrong. The density is impossible for this stasis field. It's obviously Stenza technology that they used because they keep trophies in stasis, basically, but she's never seen this before and has no idea. Crazy. So let's take it with us. And tries to pick it up and is weirded out even more because for the density of the thing, she shouldn't be able to just lift it like a pillow.
Yeah.
Which is just like, oh, wow, okay.
I can...
Has that moment where you try and pick something up and it's a lot not as heavy as you think it is, and you feel really strong for about 30 nanoseconds, and then you're like, I'm an idiot. And
this is how the Hulk picks things up.
Right. This is what superpowers are like. And they end up helping, or they find the mission briefing for Pal Tracking, and they're like, is this yours? He's like, I don't know, memory. Head wonk, can't tell you. But they end up packing everything up, including the crystal, and tell Pal Tracking, we'll help you get your crew. This is kind of what we do. And Graham is obviously just stewing and wants to cap a mother. They begin trekking off following Peltraki and this mission briefing note, and Graham pretty much just pulls the doctor back and says, like, I need a word in private with you.
Come here.
And just flat out tells her, if I get a chance, I'm going to kill him.
She's like, no, don't do that. Like, she really does have like a great little moment where she's just like, Graham, don't do it. This will change everything in our relationship. I won't be able to allow you to travel with me anymore. I need you to be the better man. Yeah,
and Graham's like, yep, I get that. Still going to kill him. We'll go back to the TARDIS. Nope. No, I'm coming along. I'm not having it.
Yep. Nope.
And
if I get the chance, I'm taking it.
Yeah, and they pretty much just leave it at that. And it's like, wow, okay, Graham is dead serious about this. No pun intended.
Yeah.
And by the time they catch back up, they're on the edge of this misty battlefield where it just looks like thousands and thousands of ships have just clashed, and the wreckage is just everywhere.
Yeah.
And at which point the doctor is also going, okay, we need more tech, so before we go any farther, here's some comm badges. They work the same thing. Slap them on your neck. Don't put them on your head near the other patchy, because don't get your patchies mixed up.
We don't need your patches matching each other.
Right, and I've got some grenades, and I've got other explosives, and I've got a bomb. And they're like, wait. You said no weapons. It's like, it's different.
Yeah, it's the doctor's rule. It's Rule 1979. If it can be rebuilt, it's fair game.
How is it Rule 1979? Have you literally been keeping track of these?
No, I throw random numbers out there.
Okay, fair enough. I was like is there a list of these? I would love to read that book. That.
Because the doctor, over all of these years, has been like, oh, that's a rule of mine.
That's another rule. No eating pears.
Yeah. You're like, okay, how many rules do you have?
But I suppose you live that long, nobody really can call you on it.
Exactly. You're like, I don't even know where the book is anymore.
But don't quote my own rules back to me. That's not how that works. Because you were new, I have to lay down the law with somebody new.
Yeah.
Because Ryan's like, you literally yelled at me for going and trying to shoot a robot. It can be rebuilt. Yeah, but you were new.
You were new. I needed to lay down the law.
But anything else, it's sort of flexible. All right. Again, there's a little Capaldi coming out there, just like, there's a building and it's causing havoc, and I have this childish need to blow it up.
Matt Smith had that childish need as well.
Yeah, it's effective.
It was just like, I'm gonna blow something up. Tennant was just around it a lot.
Yeah, Tenet was just okay if it happened, but
Yeah.
it's like, okay, he didn't go out of his way to blow stuff up.
No. It's like, oh no, that stuff's blowing up. Whatever.
Yeah, so for two reincarnations anyway, the Doctor went a little American.
He was like, blow it up, blow it up. All right.
So the idea is the Doctor straps a bunch of grenades to the crystal and is going to go off to confront Tim Shaw, and Ryan or Graham is like, yeah, I'm coming with you. He's like, no,
She's
you're
like,
not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I'm not going to give you the chance.
You guys split up and you go and try and find the crew. Go find them. I'm going to go deal with the Tooth Fairy here. And of course, they finally get to this big, massive shrine monument that's hovering in the middle
Floating.
of this battlefield.
Yeah.
And,
Kind of
like-
reminds me of Castlevania.
A little bit. But actually, now that we're making the reference, it's a little more like the Dark Crystal. It's just a
Yeah.
stone edifice just hanging in the
out.
middle of the air.
It's like, what are you doing up there?
And they get there, and of course, they're like, okay, so what do we do now? Oh, of course. Where's the doorbell? Where's the buzzer? And Sonic Screwdriver comes out and triggers something that immediately sucks them into the building. It's like, all right, convenient warp.
I like how the Doctor is just like, all right, I'm going to just ring the doorbell. And she's like, and the teleporter's been activated. And it's like, that's happening.
Once they beam in, the team immediately splits up. Graham and Ryan have a little talk, and Ryan basically is siding with the Doctor, telling him like, don't kill this guy.
Yeah,
he's
don't,
not
dude.
worth it, and don't break up the team. We're all family now, and I don't want to lose you. What, like, stop it. Stop being an idiot. And Graham takes the stance of, yeah, well, your grandmother would want this.
Come on.
Because we did not properly take this fool out.
Yeah.
And
come back
you
to
know
us.
what, she would want to be alive because she was really good at it. And while she was really kind, she was a lot tougher than you and I put together. And before it gets any worse, Ryan hears something and tells Graham to shut up. And he's like, you what?
Yeah.
Like, no,
No.
seriously, shut
Robots.
up. And yeah, killer robots bank around the corner and a bit of running ensues.
Run.
Now, Yaz and Paul Trackey end up just traveling along, basically, and you get a little exposition about Paul Trackey's home.
Yep.
And, he had a family, and, we were sent here by the 9 planets, Council of 9,
Congress of 9 planets.
Congress of 9 planets, something along those lines, some sort of planetary federation to deal with the atrocities. Okay, thank you, Captain Veg. Can we have just a little more of the important details instead of, like, I'm glad you had a family at home and it was a beautiful place and then it got screwed up.
Well,
live in the now, dude.
We're dealing with Sim Shaw, so we know what he's willing to do, so we know that he definitely committed some horrible atrocities.
Right.
Somehow.
So something bad happened to a lot of people.
Yes.
Now we could do a quick flip back to Ryan and Graham also scurrying about running. They get cornered by 2 squads of robots and pretty much effectively pull a Looney Tunes maneuver and drop at the last second, and the 2 squads take each other out.
This is the moment that I realized that I am outside the target audience of 13 to 30-year-olds. Yeah. I was like, oh, damn it.
Of course,
Of course that would work in a show like this.
Not the most ridiculous escape we've ever seen on Doctor Who.
I
but
know.
Still, it was a little bit like, and Doc, I'm like, that really worked. That would so not be.
They're targeting you. They would just continue. Okay, no.
Never mind.
Know the audience that we're going for.
It's the Doctor, accept it.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, the Doctor, speaking of which, meets the older woman that older alien that we had met before and is once again at gunpoint.
Yay!
Yay! And she makes a point of telling her that, like, never answer questions under gunpoint. Just another role of mine.
Can you
Mind
just
dropping
put that down?
And a little questioning back and forth ensues where the doctor's probing for any information and the other lady is being very, very tight-lipped about things, but does let slip that the crew is still alive.
Yes.
Nobody else has been executed. And her name is Andinio, if I'm pronouncing that right, of the Ux, which, of course, the doctor's like, oh my god, you're an Ux. I've always wanted to meet an Ux. There's only ever like 2 of you alive, and you have millennia-long lifespans. Like,
Yeah.
so they're Sith Lords. No, oh wait, no, wrong rule of 2. I'm sorry, wrong show.
Wrong rule of 2.
Wrong show.
But yeah, they're faith-driven dimensional engineers.
Right, and they're literally able to shape reality.
Yeah.
Which,
Right.
so I guess they are earthbenders. Crap, they might be the Avatar.
See? But yeah, back over to... sorry.
Yeah, and while the doctor is talking to her, she sees a brooch on her and says, well, no, you're not going to execute me, and you're going to take me to this creator because I'm acquainted with him. Show my face to him. What do you mean? I know he's watching. I see the little blinky on your chest.
Yeah.
Let's show him to me. And, of course, Tim Shaw apparently sees her and then immediately summons her, like, bring her to me.
Over the loudspeaker.
And,
Bring her over here.
yeah, breaker, bring the prisoner. And, of course, poor the Ux lady, I already can't pronounce her name again.
Yeah, exactly. Ux lady.
Is rattled. How do you know him? It's impossible for him to know who you are.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, yeah,
the creator.
I'm kind of known in all 5 boroughs. I'm known, you know. And
But yeah, it shakes her faith a little bit because the creator's not supposed to be known to anybody else.
no, not at all. Now, the Ux apparently think that Tim Shaw is a god and have been protecting him.
Oh, yeah.
But everything is is rattled, and the doctor knows it and starts picking away at that a little bit. Meanwhile, Yaz and Poltrecki find more of the crystals they were looking for. They come into a room
And it's
where there's 4 more of them in there, and obviously a rack ready to receive more.
yeah.
Yaz gets right up close and is like, but what is inside? What are these things anyway? And no answers are had because we're back to Ryan and Graham, who have finally found the crew in big stasis pods. A little jump scare moment where one of the sleeping stasis crew members face plants the glass and, of course, freaks out Ryan a little bit.
Do you blame him?
But they're in there to find 2 crew members.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is the good old TS has been at this for a little while, apparently, and there are dozens of people.
It is way over the heads of Ryan and Graham. They're like, we have 2 tumblers to break into these locks. And how many people?
Yeah. But that's their problem, as the doctor is led in to talk to good old TS, doing the Kylo Ren routine with the helmet and trying to be Vader with the raspy voice. I'm sorry. It was such. I'm watching it going, oh man, you're so trying to be Vader. Just stop it, Tooth Fairy.
He's like, hey, I look up to him.
You've got the respirator, but it takes more than a case of asthma, dude. All right, seriously.
Where are your force powers?
Right. I want to see you force choke somebody. Then I might start to believe in you. But he basically just ignores the doctor for a moment and tells the Ux, all right, ready him. There is going to be a new target. Doctor
Okay.
says, what are we talking about? And she takes right off to go do whatever. And, of course, TS has to have the villainous monologuing and filling the hero in on everything that's happened instead of just going, "Hi, I finally have you in my hands." Bang.
No.
No, we've got
It's
to
a
break
rule
out
of
the friggin'
villainry.
sharks with friggin' laser beams on their heads.
Exactly.
But he begins to basically tell her, okay, after you banished me and screwed up my DNA with my teleporter, I landed here, and using both Stenza technology and the Ooks, who think I'm a god, basically made me a god. Because now I can stay alive. And again, this dude has been chilling here for more than 3,000 years.
He even says that he's been there for 3,407 years. To which the doctor replies, that 7 must have dragged.
Right. Because, like, he was waiting for her. Like, he knew
Yeah.
what was going to happen. So he has literally let this wound fester for a while.
Just a little bit.
But they keep him alive, and using the Ooks' power to basically further his revenge. And the doctor's like, revenge against who? Well, revenge against you, doctor.
Come on.
And then we flip back to Ryan and Graham, who are still arguing about killing Tim Shaw.
Which, you know,
And
I understand Graham's point of view. He's like, hey, you killed the woman I love. I'm going to kill you. And I understand Ryan's point of view, where he's like, you're my granddad. I just fully accepted you as family. I've said it out loud. I love you.
yeah, Graham's like, what now? Don't make me repeat it like you didn't hear it the first time. I'm not going to say it again.
Not saying it twice.
And he makes a crack about, yeah, and I've been waiting for that granddad for a while. And Ryan's like, but you have it now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, whatever.
Don't throw it away now.
And he also tells Graham, Grace would tell you to be the better man. To let it go and be the better man. Enjoy what you have now, because nothing you do is going to bring her back.
Right.
Even though you did kind of have a shot in the last episode, but that, yeah,
It's
either
a
way,
weird
it was a bad copy.
interdimensional, universe that is actually a frog, but whatever.
Yeah.
Still love it. Talking frogs are awesome.
Talking. Oh, okay. Sure, we'll go with that. If you kiss them, do they become a prince, or do you just disintegrate because it's antimatter, basically?
I don't know.
Timey wobbly stuff. At this point, we flip back. Then we get a quick glimpse of the robots on the move. Very, impending doom sort of thing.
Yes.
And we flip back. TS is having a "I am a god" monologue again.
Yeah.
Just the villainous monologue about, I basically created a weapon.
Oh yeah, this is the moment where I kind of stopped taking notes because I was just like, okay, Tim, seriously.
Yeah. Everything he's
up.
done is in preparation for revenge against the doctor and everything she cares about. So I've basically built a weapon and I'm targeting Earth. Great.
Actually, no, I lost my notes for a second.
Oh, you lost your notes.
Okay.
Now we flip back, and the room that Yaz and Poltraki are in lights up because the second Ooks comes in, and now we see that there's the boy.
Yeah, the young one is.
The young one is literally strapped into the machine. And
He is the ghost in the shell.
And is begging
damn it,
the
that was
other one.
terrible. I'm
Yeah, that
sorry.
was
I'm
bad.
sorry.
No, we're not going to acknowledge that.
Moving on.
He's basically begging the other one, don't make me do this again. This can't be right. Something is wrong.
He's like, this doesn't seem right at all. Why are we doing this?
And she, of course, doesn't listen to him and just basically says, oh, it's the creator's will, and shut up, youngster, and straps herself into the other chair, and they both go all glowy-eyed, and the entire building starts powering up.
So it's the power of the Ux with the knowledge of the Stenza.
Which, of course, TS has the hive mind of all the technology that he possibly have. He's got all that knowledge within himself and has now had 3,500 years to fuss about with it.
Yeah.
The doctor, of course, runs off flappy arm style, as she does,
Okay.
to go and try and stop the weapon. And he keeps talking on Iago style, like she can hear him just about the heinous shit
Clearly.
he's about to inflict on him. Like, she
Ran
can't
away.
hear you.
Dude.
Stop with the monologuing when there's no audience there.
Yeah, but maybe he really likes to he just does it.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's very like Iago from Othello. He's just telling everybody the shit he's gonna do to people. Like,
He doesn't have
you're
Twitter.
talking to yourself. Yeah. Apparently he doesn't need it.
I would say, though, he does need it because if so, he'd be able to get that message out there a whole lot better.
Yeah, well, maybe he's just observing Trump and taking notes. Oh, I'm sorry, I went political. Anyways, we find out that the crystals moving on
Dark
very
day.
quickly. We find out that the crystals are actually entire planets
Yeah.
that he has locked into stasis, and that's what this building, the shrine, does. And of course, the Doctor is mortified because doing that to a planet, crushing it, and basically just putting it into its most dense state
Yes.
possible. If you think about it, that's like the core of a star. It's so dense. And then containing it in here, obviously you've just committed planetary genocide because you have killed everything
Right.
on that planet. And, oh yeah, Earth is that new target he was talking about, and Homeboy is strapped into the machine powering up right now.
Yep.
The Doctor assumes that the tech is unstable, then to have yet another planetary mass in that proximity to all the other ones that are already there could possibly break it, which would be really bad for everybody in the general universe.
Yeah, because you have, there's 5 already.
There's
They're
5
trying to bring
already.
in a 6th. You would have, and the 7th being the planet that they're on, that's 7 planets trying to occupy the exact same space at the exact same time.
Yeah, a rip's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a little too much gravitational force in the same spot.
Right. Tim Shaw, of course, thinks that the Doctor is bluffing. I'm like, yeah, and even if you aren't, don't care.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care.
Whatever. Even from out here,
He's like-
we're going to conquer things, and I'm going to have my trophies. He's like the worst trophy hunter ever. It's like, you don't need this stuff. We all get it. You're big and bad and have your weapon here, but really? You're not even going to eat that planet. You're a dick.
You're going to use none of the resources.
Right. You're just sticking it on a wall.
He's like, yes, I am.
Yeah, pretty much. We flip back. G and R are still breaking out prisoners,
Yes.
attempting, because of course the robots are trying to arc weld their way through the door that they've barricaded up.
So Ryan and Graham somehow have rifles.
Yeah, they find them eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick them up somewhere.
I was like,
But in between that, while they're manically trying to get all these people out of the stasis pods, we flip back and TS is done monologuing to himself and is watching the cameras and decides to, unplug and
he's going to go after Ryan and Graham.
go off to deal with that. Yaz and Paltraki are sent off to help Ryan and Graham secure the prisoners because they've made contact now, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a lot more of them here than we can handle.
We need more people to help this.
And of course, once they get there and link up, they've gotten most of the people out already and start getting them moving, but the robots break in, so they all bunker down for a moment. And of course, Paltraki makes a grand entrance by blowing out the back and
Popping
coming
3
in
of
from
them.
behind and coming through the smoke and making this grand entrance, going, I still know how to draw robots. Good thing for you too. And everyone was like, yay, let's get out of here.
Let's go.
But there's a bigger force of robots coming in. And Graham's like, no, I'm going to hang out and stay here. And Ryan's like, you're an idiot. Come with us. Paltraki's
no,
just
no,
like,
I
here's
gotta-
a bomb for when they come through.
see?
Peace. And he's out.
He's like, military guy, I totally understand what you're doing here.
All right. Appreciate your sacrifice. We're going to get out.
We're out.
And they, of course, and Graham tells Ryan, I'll be right behind you. Just go with them. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, I got this.
Meanwhile, the Doctor, in an attempt to stop the attack on Earth, decides that the only way to disrupt this without killing them is to use the neurotech, the blockers that she and Yaz are wearing. So they have a moment of weighing the odds. Like, we take these things off, the planet's going to start attacking our brains.
Yes.
So that's an issue. And Yaz is like, whatever, I'll take that risk. If it means saving Earth, let's do it. Shut up. Don't tell me the odds. So that's their plan. Now, I don't know why the Doctor immediately rips hers off and then starts doing that. You would think she would start with Yaz's so that she has just a few more minutes.
No, because of the Doctor's brain works a little differently than the humans. And she's like, you know what? I know that you won't last as long as me.
Okay, fair enough. But I don't know. See, there again, I'm doing the Spock survival of the fittest. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
Very true.
Which means the Doctor leaving hers on longer instead of ripping them simultaneously helps ensure the outcome.
You know what,
anyways, but yeah. Anyways.
Sacrifice, right? Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Which she starts fussing around with the patches, and then they slap them on to the Ooks, and the planet pretty much immediately starts attacking their minds. In the meantime, Graham has stayed behind to detonate the bomb. Ryan has gotten everybody outside, figures out that Graham's not coming, and immediately runs back.
He's like, whoa. I know. Okay, I figured it out. Took me a little longer. Unlike riding a bike.
Right, yeah, right.
One day, Ryan, you will get that. Believe in you.
In the meanwhile, while he's running back, the nanotech has worked on the Ooks, and the attack on Earth has stopped. And now, because the planet was obviously affecting them to some degree as well, they're starting to get things back. And like we don't. Who are you? And what in the Creator is going on? And oh, by the way, the crystals are becoming very, very unstable.
Yes.
And the Doctor rapidly drops the truth about Tim Shaw on the Ooks, and like, yeah, no, he's con artist, and he just made you do a lot of messed up things and kill a lot of people.
Yes.
So we need to correct this right now.
And she's like, you guys are the creators. You know, what he did is he used you to destroy. Doesn't sound so creatory.
Right.
Creatory? Yeah, whatever.
Creatory. Whatever. It sounds like a word the Doctor would use. And on that note, while we're talking about destruction, we flip back to Graham, who is waiting in ambush. The robots come through, and Graham again notes his love of American action movies. And before he hits the button, says "Yippee-ki-yay, robots!" and hits the detonator and blows them all up. Like,
thanks, Graham.
Thank you for the Christmas nod.
I love that.
As any American will tell you, Die Hard is most definitely a Christmas movie.
All you need to make a Christmas movie is for it to happen during the Christmas season.
Or at a Christmas party.
Exactly. That's all it takes to be a Christmas movie.
Yep, absolutely.
There are Christmas horror movies. Why not a Christmas action movie?
Right. Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Yes. That is a bit horror. That first one is... That's a tough one.
You are such a wussy.
No, you have to remember I watched it when I was,
all right,
a wee little one.
Maybe my dark sense of humor
I laughed.
Came out a lot faster than yours, because I laughed hysterically through that whole movie.
Oh, the old lady going up the stairs?
Even when I was
hilarious.
a little kid. Even the gremlin in the Christmas tree, mostly because I was like, my cat Bear does that all the time.
No, the one that got me was the one that came out of the fountain.
Oh, yeah.
It's jump scare, and I hate them.
Fair enough. You know who else hates jump scares?
Who?
Graham.
Oh, yes, he does.
But after he blows that up, we then flip back to the Doctor, who somehow through a lot of technical Time Lord gibberish basically manages to summon the TARDIS.
Yes.
Which is the important part. And then we flip back to Graham, who is now facing down Tim Shaw, and they're having the little back and forth shit talk, basically.
Graham is just going, hey, man, you know what? Flop. This is what I got going on.
And Tim
Shaw's like, oh, really? Well, flop. I'm calling you out on this. And I'm like, All right, it's a measuring contest.
Yeah, pretty much. It's Graham's got him at gunpoint, telling him, "I'm gonna kill you, and you know why." And Tim Shaw's over there going, "No, you won't.
I don't care.
No, you won't. You're not
You're
gonna
not
do
gonna
it.
do it."
Why? Because you're not a warrior, and you don't have it in you."
Basically goes, you haven't done it already, so why are you going to do it?
Right. And he starts to make a move on Graham, basically. Glowy palm weapon going on. Ryan comes up behind him and tells him, don't pick on my granddad. To which Tim Shaw doesn't even turn around. He just extends the other palm glowing at Ryan and begins to reverse direction, and Graham pops him in the foot.
Just poop. Right there you go.
Drops him right down. Ryan's like, "You shot him," and Graham is mortified. He's like, "But only in the foot.
Only in the foot.
Only in the foot. That's all you need to... Don't tell the doctor. She's gonna be so livid with me."
I only shot him to shut him up.
Yeah. He was coming after you. It's
Yeah.
clearly in self-defense.
Self-defense.
But he's just like, "Oh, she's gonna be so ticked." Like, I was being the better man and I still shot him. But they get over him and it's like, "Okay, so what are we going to do with him? We're obviously not going to kill you." Ryan's like, "I have an idea." And we flip back to the doctor, who has finished her work on hot wiring the TARDIS in with the stanza tech that's outside and using the unks to power everything. And again, a lot of Time Lord technical gibberish that you just kind of nod and go, "Sure, sounds believable."
I do like the younger Ux. The first time he walks into the TARDIS, and he's just like, "Oh, dimensionally transcendental," like gets it right away. And she's like, "Maybe you guys won't be able to," and he's like, "No, I totally understand this."
Yeah, right after the doctor's like, "You probably will never be able to understand this in a million years." And like, "Oh yeah, this." Like, okay, moving on.
First person ever that's just like, "Nope, totally get this."
Yeah, it's
pretty cool.
totally denies that it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, she's like, "But oh."
Yeah, it's more like, "Oh yeah, no, I like the work. It's a fun idea."
The older Ux is just like, "Oh, it's so bigger on the inside." Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Got you on that. I knew what you were looking for.
Right. But after a lot of wiring and sort of a montagey sort of scene where there's a lot of sparks involved, a lot of grunting on behalf of the Ux, their camera shaking, and a lot of CGI of planets getting put back into place. All the planets are put back.
Yes.
So at least they're in orbit. I mean, they're still dead and devoid of life because they've literally been crushed and then expanded back out.
I don't know.
At least for the moment, maybe the Ux can create life and restore things, but at least for the moment, right meow?
It could be that all they did was technically just condense it so that it could sit in that stasis. And when they uncondensed it, the Ux worked their magic and put the life back on it.
Possibly, but that's still not confirmed.
No, not at all.
We don't know. And it's a finale, so it's just dark enough to have these husks of a world floating around here and there. So, but
that's terrible.
We don't know. But while that's going on, Graham and Ryan are having their final revenge on TS, who have slapped him into a stasis pod and are now basically giving him what should normally be the doctor's speech about, yes, we're from Earth. We are not weak because we are together and Earth is protected.
Yes.
And, oh, by the way, we, both of us, sentence you to life. You're not worth killing. So while you contemplate your screw up for the rest of eternity, keep one name on your mind. Grace. And then leave him there, and off he goes. It's like, yep, mic drop. Mic drop moment, like, boys. Both of you drop them.
Yeah, we're going to take your one way out of this situation away from you. That's your punishment. Oh, that's cold, man.
Yeah, no, but so fitting, though.
Yes.
And when Ryan and Graham hook back up with everybody else, the doctor is obviously looking at them, especially since they both still have laser rifles in their hand.
Come on, guys, put them down.
And
you don't need
like,
them anymore.
They're like, "What happened?" They're like, "Oh no, he's stashed. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Had the chance, but I couldn't do it. I'm just too weak. She tells him, no, Graham O'Brien, you are the strongest person I know. Well, one of them.
One of them.
Yeah. Looking around at everybody else standing there.
Oh, yeah, it's so great to see the doctor just have that beaming smile of, I am so proud of you.
You passed the test.
That's so awesome. Now you could have beat him up with a baseball bat. Just ask, just ask Ace.
Right. Like it's very much Batman rules with the doctor. Look, you can break bones, but don't kill him.
Don't kill him.
And well, I don't know. This doctor anyway. Some of the other doctors would have been like, "Oh, no second chances at all. You're done, mate." And bye bye. Because there again, like Eccleston or Tennant, it'd have been like, "No, you're done." Capaldi, there would have been really discussion only long enough for him to get away from the explosion.
It's like, so great discussion. Yeah. All right, heading out. You
I
guys have a
got
great
you
day.
bantering. I'm not even here. This is a hologram. You're a moron. Boom. You know. This run with the doctor, she's trying to be much more sort of motherly and like, no, we don't do that. But obviously, since she's used Venetian martial arts on people, she has no problem spanking some asses here and there.
Exactly.
But really just wants you to learn from things.
Right.
And of course, she even at this point in the season, she's still having like reboot issues and doesn't remember everything and still can't drive the TARDIS. So it's really a hard reboot for her still.
Hey, it's okay.
But we find out after we have the leaving scene, basically the epilogue. The Ux end up sealing away TS where nobody will be able to get to him.
Yes.
That's all they say. And like, okay, you can kind of shift reality however you want it. So I'm going to believe nobody's getting to him because you're just as ticked off about what he did as anybody else. And they live for millennia.
They have reality bending abilities.
Right.
Now, I actually see a way for an enemy to be another way for Tim Shaw to corrupt something innocent. He was banished from our reality, ends up finding that other one, and corrupts that entire reality.
The Solitrax, but he can't because even having just the doctor there wasn't able to. So the moment anything else, they would destroy
the Ux were
each
able
other.
To change him. Because remember, reality bending.
No,
abilities.
yeah, no.
And just literally banished him in there, and was just like, "Oh no, he's totally cool. We're gonna put him in the cupboard."
I think they just they sealed him away.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Fair enough. They really don't have to create a rift or banish him from our reality in
cool.
order to seal him somewhere where nobody's going to get to him. It would be fairly easy for them.
True.
But they actually end up traveling with Paltraki and the rest of the people because the young Ux basically says, no, we can't stay here. We need to go see the universe. We need to know how things live, how things actually work.
Yeah, we
instead
should
of
be
this
part
abstract
of what's going on.
theory of what's going on. We can do something out there. Come on, let's go travel and have some fun. And the doctor's like, yes, that's
Smart
a
move.
great idea. And before she gets into the TARDIS, she steps back, and of course there's the doctor quote, the summation of the season.
And before that, she
basically.
uses fam again.
Yeah, she uses fam, and they're like, I thought we weren't. Ryan's like, I thought we weren't doing fam, and Yaz is like, no, I like it. We can do fam.
I don't know.
Graham just smiles and keeps his opinion to himself, shakes his head, and just gets on board. But the doctor bops back out of the door for one last shot, basically, and tells them, look, none of us know for sure what's out there. That's why we keep looking. Keep your faith, travel hopefully. The universe will surprise you constantly. And then smiles and gets in the door, and the TARDIS fades out, and end of season 11.
Yes.
So I don't know. I dug this episode. There was enough action, and there was, of course, you've got the morality clause, and it's the whole, if you could, take certain courses of action, whether they seem permanent, may not necessarily be moral, and sometimes doing the right thing comes back to bite you in the ass because you didn't take that kind of dark side path, which is what the Doctor was finding out, because Tim Shaw pretty much called her out on, there's consequences to everything you do. These are yours. Like, oh, okay, that was harsh, but kind of true. And it's the same choice that Ryan and Graham had to make, and since they're time travelers, it boots back to, if you could go back in time and kill Hitler, would you? Like, because for everything they did, what good generated out of those atrocities in the long run maybe have beneficial, regardless of, dude wiped out 5 planets. We're not saying he doesn't deserve every heinous thing that could possibly be inflicted on him, but you have to think of the psychological damage and the damage to the, let's go with the light or the good, that is in everybody that the Doctor tries to nurture. It would totally diminish that and turn you down the other path, which is why she was so proud of Graham's. Like, you didn't fall to the dark side. I love you, dude. You passed.
He's like, I am still on the gray side, though. Seriously.
Oh yeah. But that's her thing. That's how the Doctor rolls. Sometimes you got to be a bad guy to be a good guy, or
exactly,
girl, or whatever.
All right. Now you want to do series 11 is done. It's going to be 2 more weeks until we get to
New
Year's special,
which of course is called Resolution. New Year's Resolution, get it? Where we're going to head back to, we assume London, because that's where they always end up when they go back to Earth.
Usually.
And
or Sheffield this time.
Or Sheffield. And there's something basically tear-assing around the history of Earth throughout the centuries, and Team TARDIS has to go investigate and figure out how to stop it.
Yes. And in the meantime, we're going to actually go on and do some older episodes.
Yeah, we're going to do a couple of spots of Classic Who, which I'm going to assume, knowing your own personal preference in doctors, is going to involve somebody with a scarf. But
maybe. I haven't put the plan together yet. So
it's a mystery.
Right now, it's a crapshoot, and I have a lot of episodes that I could, not just episodes. I try to do the story itself.
So it could be 1 episode, it could be 6. No.
I'm going to try to keep these short for you. Because, 6 is 6 half-hour episodes. That's 3 hours of viewing.
Right.
And I've seen how much you can do in notes for a 1-hour show.
So it's 6 hours of note taking.
I'd be like, man. You come in, you're like, all right, and thump.
Here's a legal pad. Here's my notes. Good God, man.
Check us out next 2 weeks. We're going to do some classic episodes. Then we're going to do the new episode for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And then I don't know.
We'll go from there.
January's up in the air right now.
It'll be a surprise. Come back and see what we decide to do and throw us your thoughts on it. If there's a particular episode you think I should watch of Classic Who, please tell us and we'll take it into consideration.
Yes. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and scroll down and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the notification squad. And remember to keep your eyes and ears out, because you never know where or when the Doctor's going to turn up next.